Hello, fiber friends. Welcome to the third podcast of 2025. I'm Maddie Makes, and thank you so much for sticking with me as I try to pull my stuff together. And these weekly things are really helping, even though today is Monday for me. This weekend was crazy, and I will get into that. This whole week was full. Last 8 days, whatever, was really full. So let's get into it. We'll start off with spinning, go to knitting, crochet, and acquisitions. And part of acquisitions is what I was up to last week. So let's stay tuned, and I'll try to put in some little clips of that. Now, for spinning, I finished up the spin I started in November. Yes, I pulled it off my wheel and threw it in a bucket and forgot I had it. This is Suri alpaca that I did when I was out Briarwood. And I'll try to put little clips of Briarwood out there. So this is a white Suri, and then they're Copper. This dude's name was Copper. So there's that. And I'm just going to, unless you have a better idea, let me know in the comments below if you have a better idea. But I was just going to ply one end to the other and do a barber pole of the white and copper, because I think that will be nice. It will be a lace weight. I did think about chain plying it and essentially doing a 3-ply, right? And then it'd be all white in the beginning and all copper at the end. And I'm not sure about that. I think I'd really like them blended, but let me know what you think. It currently is singles in one ball with a few guard hairs or whatever else was in the bucket. Okay, I still have to make that skein. I haven't washed up the skein of the 3-ply yet, so if you track my last video, I did not bring that down. But this guy's still full, and I haven't washed that ply out yet to make yarn. So still need to work on that. But that didn't stop me from starting this. Now, this is an oldie goodie. This is mixed long wool that I picked up last year. The sheep's name is Woolly, and it is what gives me this beautiful, I do have it next to me, variegated fleece. Light, dark. It's washed, it's clean, it's in its natural state, but I mean, this is what I mean, long wool. It sounds lovely. She's gorgeous. She's got this lovely curl, more curl than a crimp to it. Really pretty. And I've just been combing out the locks and spinning them. There's videos. I was working on that last year, beginning of this year. Anyway, there's a video on how I was doing that. So you can go, I'll try to pop it up here. Working on Woolly's wool. So another one. And I did this as a 3-ply last time, and I really enjoyed it as a 3-ply last time. So I think I'm just going to fill up the whole bobbin and then chain ply it onto another one. That's the work on with that one. Have anything else that I'm spinning right now? No, I think I'm good. I think the other 2 wheels are empty currently. So let's go on with knitting. Now, I did get some knitting done, surprisingly, in those evening hours where hubby detoxes with the TV. I'm not sure exactly how that works for him, but hey, do what works for you. Wool yarn, see, it's a little smaller. And this is a little bigger. Here, this is a little bigger. There you go. And I am not to the top border yet, but this pattern was work 4 of the repeat pattern, then rows 1 through 11 of the repeat pattern, and then you start the bottom border, would be the bottom border. So here's, whatever. So there, I hope you can see it. I can't see you. I worked 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I worked a couple extra rows that I didn't need, but that's okay. There. I think when I was showing you the in my first podcast of the year, I moved my marker and I accidentally did a couple extra rows, which got my count off. So let me go back and tell you how this thing works. So you have 17 stitches in each of these lacework bands. Then when you get up to doing through row 11, you should have 279 stitches total. That means the stitches in these straight, turn it the right side to you, wrong side to me, in these straight knit bands, stockinette stitching anyway, they're supposed to be divisible by 8. Somehow I had 6 extra stitches on one and over a couple stitches on the other because there's 2 different bands. And how I fixed it was I increased one and kind of decreased the other and made them even. And then made sure when I get to row 11, I will each have these divisible by 8, even though I think there's going to be 8 extra stitches in each panel. So 16 total. Shouldn't mess anything up. Just make it wider at the bottom. It just V's out a little bit more and is going to be a little wider. I did spread them out. So that was my fix on that, because trying to rip back lace, I didn't want to do that. Not when there's like all the loop overs and stitch 2 togethers in 2 different ways. So it's going to be what it's going to be, and it's good practice, especially doing it out of the hand spun, which I did lofty and fluffy. And these patterns were made to do with sock yarn, which is not lofty or fluffy. It's more stable. So, but maybe I'll do that one next with actual sock yarn. Gosh knows I have enough. Again, just so you know the book I'm using. There you go. It may or may not be backwards to you, but it's the made sock yarn. I don't even remember how I got this book. I might have actually bought this one. Who knows? Books find me. All right. And if y'all noticed last video, I missed to update you on the muscle burrow hat. Now, last week, Monday, I hung out with Miss Trish, and I have that video. I need to edit it for you. I did let her know it would be edited, but I will edit in her best light, right? I love my people. I'm not going to edit to make her sound bad. So, and we did a getting to know you, and then we got into some stash management, and we even did some dyeing. So bless her heart, love her to death. She's going to be 3 videos, because it's just so much knowledge. She's so amazing that I wanted to spread that out a bit. But while I was there, her friend Gail, I do love me Gail as well, was sitting with us, and she knitted a couple rows on my muscle burrow hat for me. So there it is. It's a little longer than it was, and we still have a ways to go, because I think there's supposed to be 17 inches between the start and the edge before you start decreasing. I'll have to double check again. I'll link them below. And I also started a projects page in Ravelry, so I'll try to link my projects page down there. I'm going to work on trying to get pictures in there and track my knitting and crocheting projects. I think I can track my spinning in there as well, but let me learn how to do the knitting and crocheting before we go on to the spinning. And if any of you have tips and tricks on how to get Ravelry to work smoother, work better, be faster, I will gladly take those, because right now I'm like, push a button and pray it works. That's how I figure out a lot of pattern, or a lot of programs. Just keep pushing buttons until they work. There's not much of the green left. I have to go on this lovely turquoise. Ugh. I hope we get quite a bit of turquoise. I even packed my double points just in case. So they're all waiting in there. So is that all my knitting? I didn't do anything with the cups. They're in the same sad, sorry, yes, yell at me state. So put them here, we'll work on them. It just requires, well, like the lace work. Muscle bow is the only easy pattern I'm working on now, because color work does take its own time. And when I started these, I couldn't find my double points. So I might be putting them back on the double points, because I think the color work works better on double points than it does with doing the long tail fashion or the butterfly fashion. Then again, it might be me. I'm just going to do what works best with me. All right, let's move on to crochet. Now, I did look at that elf coat. I keep saying cloak. It's a coat. It is a jacket of sorts. And I started another wedge pattern. Another little wedge pattern piece right here. And I need to do a large coat, just the size I think I'm going for. I need 6 of the simple ones and 7 of these pointed ones. In current count, we have a lot. We have a lot. I have 3 simple ones. I'll have to break up the color so it's not all together. All right. Because the simple ones go and then the wedge ones, and it flares out. And I have 2, almost 3 of the wedge ones. And then I'll have to do the 2 front pieces, 1 back piece, flared sleeves, and we'll see which hat she wants. There's a short version and a long version. So to get on that, and then see if I have enough, make sure I have enough yarn. I almost need a tally just for these, just because there's so many pieces. And then you crochet around a lot to kind of harmonize it all together in regular crochet, not the tungsten like this, but just love it. It turns out so pretty. And like I said, this is it's acrylic, but it should warm it up, flatten it out. Yep, and I still just have 1 of this color. That's okay. That's okay. Oh yeah, just saying, that's made by Morale Fibers. The artist that made the elf coat is Morale Fibers is the brand name. All right, so acquisitions gets me to what I did this week. So that brings me into what I did last week, other than Monday hanging totally out with Miss Trish at her fiber cabin. So much fun. Oh, I think she calls it a cottage, but it's cute. It's just a cute little building. It's adorbs. Friday, I put in call to my friend that runs a petting zoo. Not really, but it's an intake for animals that normally don't have another home. They go live with her. She has alpacas and llamas and horses and cashmere goats. And I was scheduling to go over there and help her shear her alpacas and llamas. All right. She was injured last year, so she's not moving too well, nor handling them too well right now. So to order to shear them, they need a lot more physical effort than probably one person can do. So when I went to a friend's house to go to a birthday / anniversary party on Saturday, I went, hey, you handle horses. Alpacas and llamas can't be that different. Can you come be my animal handler and help this lady out on so we're gonna do that next weekend. And she said, sure, she would. But in exchange, I have to teach her mother how to knit in the round. Well, I know how to do this, so let's make it happen. Sure, perfect. So more shearing, hopefully videos to follow. Like I can get my friend that owns the place to hold the camera. It'd be great. But speaking of shearing, Sunday, I spent all day up in the mountains here. Was it Northwest Oregon? And helped do some fiber handling. She had a set of shearers out there, so I didn't have to mess with that. And I collected some fluff. So let's go in the garage. I'll show you what fluff I collected. Oh, And Thursday, so let me jump back because I can't do anything in linear timeline. Thursday, I went out to the farmer's house where we got this last year and picked up 4 more fleeces. So I have Woolies and Woolly and the gang. Sure, why not? Picked up those. So let's pop into the garage and I'll show you what I picked up. Hello and welcome to my messy garage. But these are fleeces. Whoa, I picked up on Thursday from the castle. Now, that might be Woolly. Let's see. There's that one. It's probably good that I'm opening them up a little bit. Oop, this is one of his cream colored buddies. Or her. I'm sorry, they're all female. Oh, I love me some dark gray. That's pretty. All that tan stuff is probably dirt. Oh, no, that's Woolly. There you go. Huh. I swear last year there was a darker one. Anyway, so those are the 4 I just picked up from Castle Property. And if I swing you over, I don't make you sick, so I'll do it the quick way. I have some recycling to do, but on top of that, I have, now this is a whole blanket. And if there's another bag in there, that's the neck. Okay. This is a whole fleece, so this is labeled a C because it's a short fleece. And it's only like 1.5 inches, but oh, this alpaca is so soft. Has a little dirt layer to it, but that brown layer should come out. We'll just do a good little, probably an overnight soak, but look at the colors. So I do have to do a little skirting, get rid of a few second cuts and some hairy bits, and then wash it up. It should be fine. And then this one, which I tied too good. All right, here we are. This one's like black gold. There's still hairy bits. But as soon as we get the dust out of it, I think this is just the neck. Label. Yeah, it's just the neck. Boom. But it was an A's neck, so this should be pretty nice. Yeah. I mean, there's some hair in that one, but that's not bad. I'll work it out. Or I'll just pull the section out. Because it won't all be hairy like that. It'll be like this. See, it's almost 3 inches. Doop, doop. And it'll get blacker as I wash it because they be dusty. And then, sadly, those are the bags from last year. So I have 3. The black bags are the castle. So these are, see, it's more of that white one. Methinks she looks better this year than last year. There's that deep gray, which makes you, okay, makes you that dark gray. Yeah. And then this one is from another friend's house. It should be okay. All right. Yeah, so I have a lot of work ahead of me. The alpacas should be easy. Just a little skirting and right into a warm water bath. The others will be a little bit more work. But this year's looks so much better than last year's. Another adventures to go on, because we will do some washing adventures this year, because I want to try a different technique. I want to try an overnight soak, especially on these here where they're dirtier. Try to do an overnight soak without stint washing them, because that stinks and I don't like that. And we'll see how things wash up. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that wee trip to the garage. And the little bit of footage I snuck in there of alpacas getting sheared. And I will throw you a full video together of the Alpaca of Oregon's little farm and their wool mill, which they process a lot of alpaca in their wool mill. And so that's one of the next videos. And then we're going to do a getting to know Trish Anderson video. And then later in the month, I'll pop in her other 2. So Thank you for giving me some grace on getting those done, because that's a lot more editing than editing a podcast like this. This is just show you stuff. But love you all. Show me what you're working on. I'm Maddie Makes on Instagram. Please share with me your spinning, knitting, crocheting adventures. I would love to hear about them. And until next time, you can check out this video, check out my other podcasts, or subscribe, or have fun. Do all three. You, do you, be happy, be well, and I will see you in the next one.